Hey guys, this is Rahul Sachdev. I am a Canon EOS Maestro and I'm a wildlife photographer based in India. Today we're going to talk about the Canon EOS R6, the new beast in the market. So let's start with with identifying what are the key things that you need to look for in a camera when you're looking at it from a wildlife photographer's perspective. I think it's a no-brainer that 3 or 4 of the key things that you're going to look for are the autofocus, the FPS and the ISO performance. So let's start in the reverse. Let's start with the high ISO performance. Now I'm sure most of you would have seen and read that these cameras are brilliant in terms of ISO. So I decided to put that to the test as the first thing that I'll do. I decided to go to a bird sanctuary called Karnala Bird Sanctuary, which is known to have a good decent population of the oriental dwarf kingfisher. I reached the bird sanctuary at around 6 o'clock in the morning and started a small trek, around 35-40 minutes trek, to reach to the area where the oriental dwarf kingfisher is seen. I first saw this guy at around 6:45. It was a riot of colors. I started with shooting at 12,800 ISO. I mean, I'm not saying that there was no grain. I mean, obviously there would be noise, some amount of noise at 12,800 ISO, but it is a fabulously usable image. The key bit here, even with, if we keep 12,800 or 25,600 kinds of ISOs aside, at 6,400 ISO, for example, when I shot the ODKF, as they call it, Oriental Dwarf Kingfisher, the noise that it produces was more of grains and not the color noise. And I think that is key. That is key for anybody who's thinking about investing in this camera, that the color noise at 6,400 was almost not there. If I'm going to show it to you in an image zoomed in, and you will realize that how good it is at 6,400 ISO. I tried this with a lot of subjects later on, not only the Oriental Dwarf Kingfisher, and every time the camera came out tops. The next topic that most of you would want to know about is the autofocus, and a lot of my review or my time in the field was spent in trying to test the autofocusing system. Starting with the Oriental Dwarf Kingfisher, which I shot in the forest at 6:45ish in the morning. The next location that I went to shoot was a water body called Bhigwan, again very close to Pune, not too far. I came across a group of river terns and whiskered terns which were roosting at a place. And if you know the kind of images that I make, I like to use a lot of foreground in my images, and that generally is a nightmare for the cameras to autofocus. But here in this camera, I was able to track the terns sitting from a moving boat really well. That's where the animal eye tracking comes into picture with the R6. I tried this with the birds with a black eye and a black mask kind of thing, just to make sure that it really works. And for example, with the stern, when the tern is looking to the left and my camera is facing on that direction, it was able to latch onto the eye. When it turns its head, it was able to latch onto the other eye. When it turned back, as you see, it is able to track the head. And it's intelligent enough to make a decision that at this point in time I'm not seeing the eye, I can only see the head, so I'll grab the head. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, that's just taken autofocusing to a different level. The next topic to talk about is the FPS. This camera, the R6, comes with a rated frames per second of 12 frames per second. Okay, so I can shoot 12 frames per second, as simple as that. I tried this out with a lot of water birds, and one of the key things that come into advantage with this camera is that not only does it click 12 frames per second, not only does it have a fantastic animal eye AF, the autofocusing points are end to end. The entire screen has autofocusing points, so it's able to track the animal that much better. I think one thing that a lot of people miss out when they talk about frames per second is how long can it keep doing that. That's actually more important than the FPS in itself sometimes. So let's try the buffer on this camera. It just keeps going on with the same speed. It's almost magical to hear this. It keeps going on. This camera says 12 FPS predominantly with the mechanical shutter. It's got the advantage of having an electronic shutter. If you really want no noise kind of thing, it actually claims to go to 20 fps on electronic shutter. I tried that once. The problem with that for me is that I did not realize when I shot 200 images. You know, you just don't realize it will take me some getting used to start using the electronic shutter. For now, I'm happy with the mechanical shutter. The 12 fps, infinite number of shots at 12 fps works absolutely fine with me. No complaints out there, right? So the FPS is good and the buffer is even better, right? So that's a big plus for this camera. The other thing that this camera comes up with is called IBIS, not the bird. It's called in-body image stabilization. It has a 5-axis IBIS. What IBIS really means is that let's say that up until today with your DSLRs you were able to shoot, let's say with a 100-400 mm lens, let's say you were getting sharp images handheld at, let's say, 1/1000th of a shutter speed, you know, assuming the stability of your hand and how you shoot. With this camera you could be achieving shutter speeds of 1/100 and still getting sharp images. It obviously depends from person to person in terms of how stable you are, but the IBIS here with some lenses claims of 8 stops of stability. So I tried this with waterbirds mainly. I tried with some of the scrubland birds as well, which are very tiny, swaying in the wind kind of thing. I liked how the autofocus always latched on, and even with the lower shutter speeds that I was using, I was able to get a lot of keepers, a lot more than I would have without the IBIS in any case, right? Which brings me to the next topic, which is videos. The slow motion video capability of these cameras is something that has always attracted me, and being somebody who is fond of bird photography, seeing the birds do what they do in slightly slower motion is kind of magical. And I tried it with a lot of birds. I tried it with egrets, with herons, with the painted storks that you get near water. So for people who like videos and who like to do slow motion videos, you know, I don't think you need anything better than this. It gives me everything that I need. Okay guys, that was my review of the Canon EOS R6. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions, concerns about this camera, please feel free to comment, or please feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave you with some images that I shot in the last 3 weeks of some birds that I could find. I hope you like them. Thank you.